Well, hello there. Welcome once more to Contro's Kitchen. And if this is your first time stopping by, a very warm welcome to you. Today I'm sharing with you my amazing yam balls, also known as yam croquettes recipe. This recipe always yields yam balls or croquettes that everybody just loves. It is crunchy on the outside and so smooth and delicious on the inside. You will love it. Here are the ingredients we will use, and I'll also list them in the description box. Okay, so to start, you will need to boil your yam. And so I have half a tuber of yam, and I am peeling it and then I'll boil it. The preferred type of yam you would want to buy, if you have an option, would be pona, because it's more on the buttery side and it makes the perfect yam balls. So I always prefer to cut them up into smaller pieces because I'm going to mash them, and the smaller they are, the faster it will cook. So I've washed my yams and now I'm going to bring it to a boil. I added no salt to this. And whilst it boils, I blended my onions, peppers, the sweet peppers, roasted garlic. I roasted this. It makes it more flavorful, but you don't necessarily need to roast your garlic. You could use regular garlic if you want to put garlic in it at all. And so I am using the food processor because I don't want it to be too fine. And our yams are cooked now. They are soft. And so I have strained it, and I am now going to mash it in this bowl. You could also use your asanka and tapoli, to do it a traditional way, but this works just as well. So the choice is pretty much yours. So I'm using 2 eggs for this recipe, but I'm going to put the yolk of one of these eggs in my yams to form the balls. And then I'll use the egg white and then 1 full egg as a wash. So I've added my corned beef and my blended vegetables, which, as you can see, I use the food processor to make it not too fine. I want some texture and color in the yam balls. And so I'm going to mix these. And I didn't add salt right away because the corned beef is salty. So I want to make sure I am able to taste this before I add any salt. So that was white pepper and then salt. Now, using my ice cream scooper, I'm going to scoop this mashed yam. I'm using that to have evenly sized balls, and I like to shape mine not so much as actual balls, but like eggs. I try to make it like an egg shape. And so many times people get deceived and they're like, oh, mommy, go see on the back home. But of course, it's not eggs, it is yam balls. You can shape it whatever way you want, actually. And so I'm using the ice cream scooper, and with that, I will do everything, and then we will proceed. So I have my balls made, or my eggs as I choose to make them appear to be. And now I am whisking my egg whites, my 2 egg whites, and then the yolk. So 1 full egg and then the white of another one. I just whisk it. And then I use panco breadcrumbs. To me, that is the perfect breadcrumbs you want to use for your yam balls. It is crunchy. It is perfectly white. This is plain. I like the fact that it is perfectly white. I don't like the ones with herbs or anything because the end result is not as beautiful. So if you may, choose panko, plain panko breadcrumbs, Japanese style. And so I roll my yam balls in the egg wash first, and then I put them in the breadcrumbs. and toss, or whatever way you choose to get it coated. You just coat it with the breadcrumbs. And I'm going to repeat this until I have coated all my yam balls. Okay, so I paused with coating the yam balls to start my oil, to set it on fire so that it is perfectly heated by the time I'm done coating all these balls. And now I will continue to do this whilst my oil heats up. So in the egg wash and then in the breadcrumbs, cover and transfer onto another platter or plate. So my yam balls are now all beautifully coated with my panko breadcrumbs, and my oil is also hot and ready for frying. So I just tested the first one to make sure it was fine, and it's perfectly hot. So I will start putting everything else in it, and the oil is very, very hot. So in no time it is cooked. Just look at this. I almost burned the very first one that I put in. It's all like, it's not even golden brown anymore. So this is pretty much flash frying, because except for that the egg wash, the eggs, everything else is cooked already. So it doesn't take too long, and you don't want to let them see these. So these are beautiful. These ones are perfectly fried, and that is what you are trying to go for. And just like that, it's done. It smells amazing. That white pepper in your yam balls, it's everything. That smell of white pepper, I tell you, if you've made it before and you didn't put white pepper, just try that, and you will definitely tell me something. I know that. So these beauties are all done, and that is it. So simple, and it's good as hors d'oeuvre, as part of your entree, as a snack, whatever you want to have it with. It's just perfect, and the kids love it because it's already mashed up food, so your toddler probably would like it too. And you could put whatever meat or whatever you want in it. So I'm going to break up one for you to see. Just look at that. It's popping with color. It is soft, it is buttery, it is silky inside, and it was amazing. And this is how I served it. So I hope you give this a try. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.